get the 2023 Clownfish comic books, including Crimson Wren Volume 1 and previously on Clownfish TV. We're offering a limited number of these books. In our second chance offer, go to shopclownfish.com. That's shopclownfish.com. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about how this is Hollywood's endgame. A lot of movies and TV shows being delayed indefinitely or canceled outright as the strikes lurch on. And this is what they wanted. You played right into it.
I agree. I think that they were hoping that they could use this to get rid of some people and some projects so they can save money, but then they can blame it on the strikes and then they'll come out, like, oh, look, it wasn't us if you weren't striking.
Yes, because of macroeconomic circumstances and the strikes. Yeah, so here's the thing. All these companies way overspent on streaming. They've been overspending on content that nobody is watching, not just streaming content, but movies people are not going to see. A lot of it activist-minded content.
Right.
They have buyer's remorse. So now they're going to use the strike. In fact, they were probably counting on the damn strike. You guys played right into it. Counting on the strike to be able to pull the trigger on shutting down a lot of these productions. So we have no idea where some of these movies and TV shows are. They may get canceled completely. It may be years until we see sequels or another season of something if they decide to bring it back. We don't know what's going on, but we're going to start with Spider-Verse, and this one is getting delayed indefinitely. It was supposed to come out in 2026, then they had a problem with the animators, and now it's delayed indefinitely.
And Ghostbusters is delayed to 2024 now too, which I'm kind of bummed about.
That doesn't surprise me. It didn't seem like it was anywhere near done.
No,
honestly.
It was supposed to be done later this year.
Yeah, it's actually New York though, so I am happy about that. But we'll see. We'll see. Patton Oswalt might offset that.
Did you say Patton
joy.
Oswalt? I just don't care. I'm just like, screw it.
Maybe if he's playing Slimer or something. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this before
He's an asshole who talks. Anyway. Oh, that's
Sphincter.
Every day.
That's Sphincter, not Slimer. That's his brother.
But that's just typecasting. Anyway, continue.
That is Slimer's brother, Sphincter. All right. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo.
All right, this is coming from Variety. We're going to talk about a lot of shows getting terminated from via Tired Meme Clown. You can see like
a funny name,
Tired Meme Clown. You can see all of these shows that have been
heard of some of these
suspended. Yeah, Beetlejuice 2 production suspended.
Oh no, Pinky Boo's gonna be so upset.
Avatar 3 and 4. There goes Disney's money.
That doesn't mean that they're not canceled. They're probably still going to do Beetlejuice 2. They're going to do the Avatars for sure. They're going to do Spider-Verse for sure. It's just that it's getting temporarily suspended.
I think they're going to use the opportunity to cancel projects they know are not going to make
Well, I think
money.
that's more going to be TV than it's going to be film.
Yeah. Well, if they already have a bunch of money sunk into it. Well, we saw what happened with Batgirl. I mean, that one was almost done, and they're like, yeah, we're just canceling it.
I think that the canceling is going to be more like streaming service type films or shows than it's going to be like, mainstream theatrical releases. But because I know they're not going to cancel Fantastic Four. And they're not going to cancel. I mean, God willing, they'll cancel Lilo and Stitch because that's in the,
I don't think they've gotten very far into that.
The live actions, the Moana live action, just cancel these. Cancel the live action movies. They don't do well. You lose money. Nobody wants it. Just stop now. There's my hint for you, Disney. You can take some of that money and just send it to me for saving you millions of dollars.
James Gunn's Superman movies on the list too.
Yeah, another movie that I'm like, just cancel.
They might just take a good hard look at this and be like, yeah, we don't need to resume production. And you got to realize you can't just turn this back on. It's kind of like with the pandemic, when they shut down productions during the pandemic, you can't just flip a switch and turn it on. This is a good opportunity for studios to just cancel projects completely. Now, Spider-Verse, not going to get canceled, I don't think, because the first two made way too much money.
I'm looking through the list here. Some of these movies, like, another Bad Boys film.
Why?
A Dirty Dancing movie, a prequel to Ocean's 11. Like, stop. Just
Dirty Dancing sequel?
Mm-hmm. Clean Dancing.
Well, Patrick Swayze's gone.
Oh, it's probably like their child is now working at a camp.
Oh my God.
And he likes another boy, so we gotta do Dirty Dancing.
Could we cast somebody that actually looks like Baby now? Because Jennifer Grey got her nose fixed. And
well, that was, she kind of was in an accident too, which is partly, yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't know. Because she doesn't look anything like Jennifer Grey. That was actually a joke. She was on a show. I don't remember the name of the show. It was about a bunch of people playing themselves in L.A. And the joke was nobody recognized her anymore because her nose is different.
Yeah, no one puts Baby in a corner, but you have to find her first.
You have to find where's Baby. Anyway, let's talk about this. Spider-Verse taken off Sony release calendar. This is not good. And this was after.
Yeah, they've already been having trouble with it before.
Yeah, animators are like, there's no way in hell this thing is going to come out in 2026. It's not going to happen. But there's a lot of money to be made, so I guarantee you, this one will probably get made someday. Someday.
Well, and then like Ghostbusters, it's already
done.
Almost done. Yeah. So that one's going to come out. No, Craven, who knows?
Nobody cares. Cancel it. It looks awful. Cancel it.
They should there's a lot of things they should cancel, but they're not gonna. Or they will. They'll just take like, look, we can take a tax break for a loss.
Yeah.
It'd be Batgirl over again.
Yeah. So Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is the third film in the animated franchise. It's been undated. It was supposed to open March 29th, 2024. No way in hell. Due to unions' work stoppage orders, the voice cast cannot complete dialogue recording in time for the spring opening, said a Sony source. A new date is expected in the coming weeks.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for the people who are not striking, who are all going to be like in Hurtsville because they're pausing all the things they're working on so they can't do anything.
Yeah.
And they basically are just sitting there waiting and they can't do anything at all. And they're going to be in same situation the writers and actors are in, even if they're not striking.
Yeah. Sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife got pushed back. Yeah, actually, Ghostbusters Afterlife got pushed back. So it's kind of fitting the sequel did too, because the original was supposed to come out like a year before it did, and they just kept pushing it back and pushing it back because of the pandemic. Karate Kid reboot, which nobody wants.
Why?
We don't want this.
You already had Cobra Kai. It was good. Stop.
Yeah, just stop. I mean, are we talking like, I don't know much about this. Are we talking like a complete reboot of Karate Kid, so, like the Will Smith, Jaden Smith?
I believe it's like that, yes.
Don't do that. Just don't.
It could be wrong, but that's what I was under the impression.
Yeah. So lots of shows, lots of movies getting pushed back. Now, the other shoe that's going to drop is Force Majeure.
Yes.
Force Majeure, to get rid of manure. That's how.
Yeah. Yes. Sounds like manure because yeah.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the shit. This is what the plan was the whole time. The whole time. As soon as the studios were obviously unwilling to negotiate in good faith at the beginning, they're just like, yeah, strike, whatever. We don't care. They're like, hot damn, we can cancel a lot of this garbage that we greenlit a couple of years ago because we'll just wait it out.
Yeah.
Because people are watching reruns anyway. And we got live action shit, whatever. They're going to watch K-drama. We can wait this out and cancel a lot of stuff. They were canceling garbage tier projects before the strikes. And they were finding all kinds of crazy excuses to cancel. Well, we don't need this. We don't need that. Whatever. Oh, look, we're hurting. Oh, no, we got to cancel. Now they're going to be like, oh, because of the strike. All that stuff is canceled. So they said overall deals at struck companies could get canceled as early as August 1st.
So Tuesday,
Black Tuesday. Major Hollywood studios and streaming platforms are considering terminating some of their first look and overall deals with writers. That's writers. SAG-AFTRA is after that. Writers as soon as August 1st. More than half a dozen sources with knowledge of various term agreements and talks inside these companies told Variety.
Okay, so that's a lot. So it's not just one person. We're talking like several people.
Probably a bunch of lawyers
independently coming and saying, hey, here's what they're going to do.
The deals would be torn up under contractual force majeure clauses, such as SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild of America strikes, because that actually is one of the causes. So they're basically like, yeah, we had a first look deal. We had a deal for this show, or we were going to greenlight this many shows, and they're like, yeah, because of the strikes, we're just going to tear the whole thing up. We're going to tear it up.
And then we save money because we could write
that is exactly
that loss.
That is exactly what they wanted this. They wanted the strikes.
People have been saying that since the beginning, that they thought that they were doing this on purpose.
And you played right into it. Just think, if you weren't in union and you had a deal with these studios already, they would have to honor the agreement. But now that you're striking, they're just going to tear the shit up and start over. Decision makers could begin ending these pacts as soon as next week, said insiders from both the creative community and their corporate counterparts. Many of the deals were suspended only a week into the strike in May by producers, including Amazon, HBO, Warner Brothers, TV, Universal, Disney, and CBS. The writer's strike is also rapidly approaching the 90-day mark when historically dealmakers have the option to kill agreements in the face of an act of God.
Mm-hmm. The force majeure.
An act of Fran. The common the common show business interpretation for how the phrase force majeure applies to these type of labor shutdowns. Overall deals typically pay overhead for a writer's company and fund the development of projects. First look deals also provide financial padding in return, guarantee the studio or company has favored nation status when it comes to determine. Basically,
first look deals also make sure you don't go to somebody else, or they just keep you locked in with them so they can make something similar and waste your time too.
This is the same with publishing or whatever. They're like, we have to pass on it first before you can take it anywhere else. You can't be a free agent, right? Sources at top agencies representing writers said they had not received any official notice regarding the August 1st date, but many expect to start receiving word next week.
Right. So even the people that are saying that they haven't heard anything are expecting to have this happen. I mean, I think this is going to be a given.
Yeah.
Considering how they're wording this.
They're talking about how this is more complicated than the 2007-2008 strikes. Streaming has exponentially increased the volume of content being produced. That's a huge problem.
Too much.
There's too much, and there's not enough return.
Right.
They greenlit too much because they were like, okay, if we get more content, if we just shit out more stuff, we'll make more money, and that is turning out not to be the case. I mean, Disney is selling empty boxes for WandaVision.
They are
to make some money. You've got
it's limited. It's not going to make a lot of money. I just found it hilarious. It's like it could be a litmus test though to see what people will buy.
It's like, oh my God, will they buy just empty boxes? I mean, oh my God.
You slap Marvel or Disney on it?
You slap Marvel probably. They probably will. As a result of the previous strikes, when term deals were shredded almost immediately, top talent now have safeguards. Yeah. So they were just like tossing stuff out before. Now they're like, no, we got to go for a while. You can't just like on day one be like, oh, that's it now. We're done. Deals for some major creators stipulate their packs cannot be jettisoned unless the studio enacts a clause for all term agreements they hold, which they might do. I've actually seen some people have their deals terminated already.
It's going to depend on your contract.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just it. So,
but they're saying basically some of these people, now they're just naming a few, but that's not everyone. Those few can't just be broken. They have to be like, they have to break everybody else's to break theirs. And, unless the studio does that, which they're not going to do, they'll probably get to keep their deals. But people who don't have as good an agents or the name recognition probably won't have that kind of, cushion.
Yeah. Well, this is why they're freaking out so much on influencers, I think, because they're afraid influencers will go in and basically eat their cookies and people will just watch more YouTube or more TikTok or whatever, which is true. They will. Mm-hmm. They will. So they're going to be like, well, someday you'll never be one of us. I'm like, yeah, these people get to keep working. You don't.
Well, yeah. And when they come back online, they're going to take everything you have, even if you were on their side. So. Yeah.
So they're like, they don't even think that the legal language is going to keep force majeure at bay. The money saved by a studio would be negligible, especially compared to the potential public relations headaches. So they're just gonna freaking use the strike to get rid of a lot of the shit they greenlit that they don't want now.
I don't know they can't get rid of a lot of the shit because some of the shit's probably tied up with some of these, special clauses that they can't get rid of them. But they can get rid of some of the things, I'm sure.
Well, they dumped Meghan Markle. They dumped Ava DuVernay. They're dumping the stuff that I think.
Well, there's a certain type there.
Okay, so that is true. So for all this talk, we got talk now that like I'm seeing some rumors out there that supposedly Disney, like you're not allowed to speak out at all against the DEI initiatives or
why they fired a DEI officer.
Yeah, exactly. The very first person they tossed overboard when they could, as soon as they could, was their DEI boss.
Their stock is plummeting. They're losing money. People are complaining. I mean, down to the financial magazines now calling them woke and their poor woke decisions. Yes. That's not me saying it. That's them saying it because I don't like that term, as you know. And I don't think that their reaction is going to be quick. Double down on that.
No, I think that they are going to use the strike to reset Hollywood. I think that's what this is all about.
That's what they're hoping for anyway.
They made a lot of really bad decisions chasing streaming. They let a lot of people into the industry that caused them all kinds of problems and cost them all kinds of money. And they've been doing it for the last 8 or 10 years now. And this is Hollywood's great reset. They're going to use it to just push the button, reset all of it. When Hollywood comes back online, I expect studios to use more non-union production.
I think it's ridiculous that you're being bullied and threatened to not make any money because if you do, you can't be in a union down the road.
Yeah.
I think given the very incestuous way this is done, and it's very locked down, and I don't think that's fair. I really don't. I think that's a way to control and be controlled and make money off of being controlled. And I don't think that's right. I think that they should be open to people who are not in that union, or there could be other unions as well, not just one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because it's a monopoly. I think you should have the option of joining. If you think you need the protection, joining other groups that might have different terms or they're more favorable for your particular situation. The reason they're letting influencers into sag-aftra, they started doing that like 2 years ago, is to control them.
Yeah, because they know preemptively, some of these people are getting deals.
Yeah.
So we'll get a cut.
Yeah.
And you'll play by our rules and know your place.
Yes. Well,
but you do when you enter this, you're always going to be put in the place by the people up top.
Yep. So I think this is a great time for independent content creators to take a look at the situation and be like, you know what? Do we really need to play by Hollywood's rules? I mean, George Lucas had a huge problem with it. And he went so far as to build Skywalker Ranch outside of L.A. Because he didn't want to play by their rules. Ironically, he sold to Disney, but whatever.
You mean the white slavers?
The white slavers at Disney, yes. So I think it's a fantastic time for production to be reset, to be like, you know what? We can have production studios in freaking Idaho. They can produce content and then maybe
it's not like it used to be. Now it can be all done digitally and stuff. Before, you had to physically be there. It's not been that way for a while now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be locked down to one location.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot after the dust settles. I think there is going to be more democratization of content production.
I think there's going to be a lot of a more limited content production as well.
Yeah.
I think that their studios are going to be more than happy to let other people create it and then just license it from them and then instead of them having to foot the bill. And I think themselves, they're not going to spend the money that they were spending before because, it doesn't do any good. People are watching other shows that are in reruns. And like I said, you can go lease, license an idea from somebody else that they did all the work and you didn't have to pay anything, but you can still put it in your service.
Well, yeah. Like you want to make an animated series, fine. Go get yourself, $10, $20 million. You produce the series. You do everything.
That's happening more and more.
It is happening more and more. And then you go to like Netflix and say, look, you don't have to pay anything or something nominal, and we just run our series on your platform.
It's not nominal, but you know what I mean, like you're just licensing it to
you're licensing it, but they're not footing the bill for the production. You're taking the risk,
right? Kind
of like YouTube. I think all of Hollywood might wind up working like YouTube on a bigger scale. Independent content producers make their stuff and then they distribute it on different platforms. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we could be completely wrong too.
Could be wrong.
Who knows?
We're going to wrap this up, right?
Yes.
All right. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.